What if Charles Lee Ray's soul went into a Christmas tree instead of a Chucky doll? That's the demonic Christmas tree for you. So the movie starts out with an old woman sitting in a dark room full of candles with a nightstand inside the fireplace. Then there's pictures on top of the fireplace mantle with a bunch of X marks through them besides the last picture of this one random person. It looks sussy-wussy to me. Also, then she goes upstairs and gets a Christmas tree, brings it downstairs into another dark room full of candles. She sets the Christmas tree on top of the, you guessed it, a pentagram. I know, pretty random. Then she starts reading a creepy book, a bunch of this mumble junk. Then all of a sudden it starts lightning and thundering. Christmas tree gets up and looks at itself in a mirror. All of a sudden he turns around and kills the old lady. Then the movie goes into a flashback where it shows the old woman and a mystery man walking in an open field. Then they go inside a house and they kill everybody inside. Then the movie goes to nowadays where we see two girls talking before a Christmas party about something last year's Christmas. I can tell you there's something off about how she feels. Then the camera changes to where we see our friendly neighbor Christmas tree holding up a map, looking all confused, angry. Sometimes that sounds like me at work. I don't even know what's going on half of the time. Now we go to another flashback where we see the old woman and the mystery man talking. Turns out we find out the old lady's name is Morgan, but Morgan and this mystery man are going to kill 12 families just to put fear into Christmas. Then we come back from the flashback to reality where our friendly Christmas tree is holding up a map. And I would too be confused because he's a Christmas tree. So why is a Christmas tree trying to read a map? I don't know, but it's trying to. Then the movie cuts back to the party where we find out our main character name is Faith. And Faith is still nervous and doesn't want to be here at the Christmas party. So she takes her friend downstairs and gets a big old cup of wine just to loosen her up a little bit. So then the movie cuts to another part of the house where there's two friends talking to each other. One's drunk, obviously, because she can't walk straight. Then the other one is just tired of her talking about her friend groups. Then we found out that Morgan and the mystery man killed Faith's parents on that Christmas day because Faith was walking home, noticed that there was someone laying in front of the door. All she knows it's her dad. And all of a sudden, Morgan and that mystery man comes walking out with a bloody knife. There's Faith running away. But then a camera cuts, so the guy dies off camera, which is a bummer because I want to know that scum turd bag died. Then we cut back to the party. Nothing really is happening besides Faith and 4 other friends are talking about random relationships and just all that other what happened about last Christmas and all that stuff. It's not interesting at all, let me tell you. Then there was an old couple driving down an old dirt road. All of a sudden, our friendly Christmas tree was playing possum. So the old man gets out of the car to try to move the Christmas tree. All of a sudden, the Christmas tree grows big old tree stick arms and brutally kills the old man. Then all of a sudden, somehow the lights from the Christmas tree gets inside the car and strangles the lights out of the wife. Then somehow we get back to the party and they're still doing the same thing. They're sitting there at the tables talking about their relationships. We get back to the Christmas tree and guess what? The Christmas tree's driving. How can a tree drive a car? It doesn't have legs, arms, a brain, a body, a functional organs. Nothing. How's it driving a freaking car? So then we go back to the freaking party. Now Faith and her friend goes outside on a walk. And they keep walking. They end up walking to a tennis court. They put a blindfold on Faith. In the camera, it cuts to 2 people at the pool making out. But you know it's a horror movie. That ain't gonna fly. So a Christmas tree comes out of nowhere, rips that guy in half, then chases the girl into an outside building and beats her to death with his trunks. Then the movie cuts back to Faith and her friend on the tennis court. As soon as Faith takes off that freaking blindfold, her best friend got ripped in half. I was like, oh my gosh, she's definitely gonna be traumatized for the rest of her life. Then she starts running back to the house where the other guests and her friends are at. So then now Faith is trying to tell them what just happened. None of the guests or friends believed her. So some of them went outside to go see what's happening, and all of a sudden they got brutally murdered. Every single last one of them. So then another person comes out from the back room and was like, yo, we can run for it. And I was like, no, you can't. They're all like, Tina, shut up. Tina wasn't having it. Tina's like, you know what? I'm gonna run out this back door. You guys with me or without me? And they're like, nah, we're good. You can go for it. So she's run outside with high heels on, thinking that she's Usain Bolt. All of a sudden, she stops running, gets her head knocked off by one of the tree's trunks. And I was like, whoa, didn't see that coming. Maybe she needed a heads up next time. The three other friends are starting to run away. Tina and the other chick went upstairs and they hid in the bedroom. Faith went under a freaking bed and her best friend went in the closet. But the other chick, you know what she did? She didn't run. She went inside a closet, grabbed a shotgun. And I thought to myself at that moment, I'm like, bro, you're serious. You're going to use a shotgun on a Christmas tree. She shoots that Christmas tree. And I was like, what are you doing? Run. But no, that Christmas tree took his lights and hung her to the roof. I was like, whoa, that solves your problem. So now the Christmas tree, after murdering all of her friends, starts playing the piano. He's like, oh, this would be a nice song to play. He's playing Silent Night. Oh my gosh. Silent Night starts playing in the background while he goes upstairs looking for Faith, and her friend goes in the same room they're in, but he doesn't see him. Then Faith and her friend, as soon as they leave the bedroom, he was waiting for them the whole time. He snags Faith's best friend, kills her brutally in the hallway. Faith then runs outside the house into the woods, which I would not run in the woods. Only the reason is because it's a Christmas tree. Woods has trees. Trees are trees. You can't notice some of the trees. Then she's hiding behind a big tree. All of a sudden, the Christmas lights wrap around the tree and start strangling her. At that split moment, I'm like, oh, she's a dunner. But something crazy happens. It's crazier than watching a tree drive a car, watching a tree play the piano, watching that Christmas tree sing a song. Crazier than that, Faith's mom shows up, okay? As a spiritual tree. You see a tree on tree fight. The evil tree, aka Mr. Friendly Tree, dies. He goes into a big old pile of fire. Then at the end, Faith's best friend shows up and was like, yo, where you been? Been looking for you for hours. And I was like, what? What? There's no way that movie was that graphic. But it was not like a nightmare dream type thing. I was like, no. So this whole movie was a nightmare, datemare kind of thing. But what I don't understand is how did she have this nightmare thing? How did she end up in the woods if it never happened? See, that right there got me confused. But the whole movie to me had me confused the whole time. But the movie wasn't awful, but it wasn't the best. It's like one of the movies you watch one time and it's good enough. You don't want to watch it no more. But all in all, it's a movie.